Today on what to do, we are working on a Tru-Turf roll and slice. This is the model RS48-11. I'll show you. All right. And the situation is this chain kept coming off and was making a really loud noise. And the way, let me turn the light on here first. The way they have the older style of these is they have these sprockets on this arm here. Now this arm is tensioned by this spring up here. All right, you got part of it there, and the other part goes on here, which pushes the tension, which keeps this chain in line and tight. And it flexes so that this thing can go around. But the problem was this was bouncing out, and the chain just started skipping around the sprocket. Now, luckily, our sprocket gears didn't get tore up really, so I ordered a new spring just in case while I'm doing this, in case this is getting a little weak. But I also ordered new sprockets, but what they sent me was these new plastic retaining guides. And here's, you can see the instructions they give you. There's the old sprocket guides, and they show you here the new plastic guides. Okay, and now if you look, it shows that there's actually a nut and bolt going through that sprocket, and that's how you would put these new guides on. But mine seem to be welded on here. So, and there's a lock clip on the back. But they sent me these nuts, which there's no thread on there. I'm not able to screw this in. So what I'm gonna have to do is take these clips off, slide that sprocket off, and we are going to slide this, hopefully it fits, I'm sorry, it's gonna go on like that, over that shaft, and then I'm gonna have to put that lock clip over top, and I'm hoping that that holds it, because I do not have that nut and bolt right there like it shows on the old style. So maybe the mechanic that had this before welded something up there, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to take you through the process. First thing I'm going to do is I want to get these arms off, and I want to replace this spring here. We're going to get a screwdriver, but this clip right here, we just want to pry that clip off. We ordered a new one here, which looks a little bit different. Looks like it has a back on it. So that's actually going to, where we at here? It's going to pop on like that. So let's get a screwdriver. We're going to pry this clip off of here, and should be able to free these arms up and slide this spring off. I was able to loosen that up with the screwdriver, but there we go. All right. That clip is off. I'll set that down there, and this should pull off of here. See if we can get this to slide. I'm gonna need two hands. Back one doesn't seem to want to come off there. All right, so together, I don't know if you can see this, but this is what your assembly looks like. You can see it there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unclip this spring from there. Separate it all. There's one. There's our spring. And that's our back one. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these all up and take these little lock clips off of here so I can slide these sprockets off. And pretty self-explanatory, you're going to stick these ends right there into those two holes. You're going to spread it and pull that pin out, or sometimes you can just pull it up. If that tends to give you some trouble, from time to time they will, you may need to get a little screwdriver and work your way around it to pry that up. But if you're doing that, then chances are you're probably going to need another one of these. Alright, I am going to need both hands for this, so let me set the camera down while I pull that out of there. our clip is off. Now we should be able to pull up on this. And there you have it. Inside of there is a bearing. So if you were keeping these and just changing the bearing, which is not covered in this tutorial, that is where your bearing is. Alright, but we are eliminating that. And this looks pretty worn right there from that sprocket going around. I hope that's still going to be useful without ordering a new arm. And we'll do the same thing to this side. There'll be a little clip on there, and we'll pop that one off as well. Alright, so I came over to this side to do this one, and I noticed there was a bigger clip in there. Now that clip you want to pinch in and pull out. The other one you wanted to spread and pull up. So I don't know if you can see that clip right there going around the inside. But there was not one on this side, which is telling me that yes, this was probably worked on before by somebody else. So clip is out. Now we should be able to pull this one up, which, go figure, it's a little bit tighter. Alright, gonna need both hands here. This side was a little bit tougher to get off. I got it free now, but I'm gonna reset it so I can show you what I had to do. Basically just put it in a vise, and I had to get a really strong screwdriver where you could use a pry bar, and I had to pry up on each side. It was a little difficult, but eventually it did pop this up. So with the new plastic retainers that they sent me, they do fit over top of that. Alright, if I can get it on there we go. So these are now obsolete. Our new retainers are going to go on. Like that. So what I am going to do is put a washer over this, and then the C-clip right over top of that washer, hoping that's going to hold these in place because I will not have the nut on there. Alright, so that may be what you have to do, and we will test it and I'll let you know how effective that is. And also, here's the old spring, looks a little bent up. Here's the new spring that I'm going to put on. And that spring is in the center here, which gives you your tension between the two bars. Alright, got the clips on there. You can see I put a washer and then a lock clip. Same thing on the other side. Washer, lock clip. Now we're going to go ahead and put these back on the machine with our new spring. So I put a little bit of grease up here on the shaft, and what you want to do is just kind of work that in there like so, and that should rest flush on that chain. Alright, next thing we'll do is we will put our spring on. That will slide over there, and this back piece will rest on there like that. And then we want to get our other side here. Alright, so ultimately I disconnected it from this side. But you do have to put this one on first. Slide your spring on. I got this side on now. So now I can get, you may have to get a pair of pliers or a pry bar. I'm going to pull that spring up and get it around this one. Alright, got a screwdriver under there, and we're just going to pry this spring up. And there we go, around that side. Oh yeah, much better tension than the other spring we had. Now you want to be careful because this cap, this clip isn't on the end here yet, and this will still pop off. There's a lot of pressure on here. Alright, so let's make sure that's on. Now we're going to go to our new clip. If you remember the old one we took off here, pretty much going to go on the face of there. So it's kind of hard to compress this in to get some of this shaft to show in order for me to put that that pin on. So what I did was I just got a big C-clamp here, and I went to the back on this side, and I went to the arm on this one, and just kind of compressed that in. and I gave myself enough room now that I can tap that clip on. Alright, I got my cap there, which sealed all this together. I hit it with a rubber mallet, kind of dented up a little bit, but it's on there really tight. And that's it. That's the whole kit. I am going to put this cover back on here and take it out and see how it runs. But if anybody needs these parts, Finch is where I ordered them from. And this here is the chain tensioners, those black plastic ones that replace the sprockets. And you can give them that number there. Alright. And coming down, this is that clip here that I tapped in. Alright. R8146. And down here is the spring for the arms. R5094. That is your spring here.